Well, here's another unscripted video on tool and cutter grinders. Imagine this surface is the equivalent of the flat surface on the grinding wheel. Now, with a normal multi-angular access tool and cutter grinder, if you wanted to sharpen a drill bit, say we line it up like this, we have to adjust an axis this way in order to get the cutting edge of the drill lined up where we want it. And here we're going to have it lined up horizontally. So that's the first axis. Then we've got the cutting angles here on the tip of the drill, which is normally 118 included, so it'll be 31 degrees here. So we'd move a second axis over 31 degrees so the cutting edge was touching, and then we want a certain clearance angle somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees usually for the first one, and so we drop it down about an axis through here. So now let's look at how we can replace that with just two of those axes. Now imagine that this is the base of the spin indexer, and in that case we can twist about this axis and we can rotate about this axis. We cannot rotate in this direction as we did previously. Right, change of scene. So first of all, let's imagine that we align the cutting surface up with the horizontal as we did before, and we bring the drill over so that the edge is touching, and we can see that it's at that angle that a plane perpendicular to the face of the grinding wheel and aligned with the plane of the drill, we can see when it's lined up that we've got an appropriate angle there. Now imagine that we did drop it down for the clearance angle. We drop it down here, still maintaining the other alignment. Now when I set the angle gauge, again align, now the plane through the drill bit is changed. Now it's more like this. So if I align this up like so, hang on, the drill's moved a bit, I'll bring it back. You can tell this is unscripted. And where it looks like it's about there, you can see quite clearly that the angle is now different. Well, I hope you can see quite clearly. I'm not seeing what you're seeing. So let's just make a note of where that is. And we'll draw a line up through there. That was the drill dropping on the ground, as you probably guessed. So now we've actually got the drill relative to the grinding face in exactly the same position as we would with the 3-axis device. But now let's imagine that we rotate this whole thing about. Make it easy. Let's put a pin in there. We rotate that about until that's now horizontal. And imagine that now that is the base of the spin indexer again. So as we saw previously, when that's lined up and dropped down, this angle is more. That's what the spreadsheet's for. That's to calculate what this angle is. In fact, with a 118 degree point drill, and if we want I think it's a 10 degree clearance angle for the first clearance, instead of bringing that round from the normal position, instead of bringing that to 31 degrees, we actually have to take it to 32.4. But look at the difference here. Now, this was where we had the cutting edge lined up. So all we have to do now to get it in exactly the same place relative to the cutting face of the grinding wheel is rotate this in this direction 32.4 degrees, but twist it this way 19 degrees. That's a 1, that's a 9. Okay? Well, it would be if this was accurately set up. So now all we do with our spin indexer is we angle it about here, we twist it so the edge is lined up with that, and hey presto, oops, pin must have come out. Relative to the face of the grinding wheel, the drill bit is in exactly the same position as if we'd moved it about 3 axes. Okay, the next one of these super videos will actually show the difference between how we have to set up a drill bit and a milling cutter. Goodbye.